Okay, Brianna, do I have your permission to use this interview for my English class?
Yes, you do.
Okay, perfect. So our question for the interview is, do you think that zoos are ethical and in any way beneficial to animals?
I definitely think that they're very beneficial to animals, especially ones that don't have any other place in the world, basically. There's many animals at many zoos that end up at zoos because there were people taking care of them illegally, and there were a lot of people also taking care of them, or not really taking care of them. So
just like having them in their house?
Exactly.
Okay.
And even having them in their house, they might just have them like chained up in their backyard, and it's not the best ideal situation for them. So I definitely think it's beneficial for animals, and I do think that it's ethical.
Do you think that zoos, like a lot of people would argue that they don't show like how they live naturally in zoos, like it's not really like educational because it's not how they would naturally act, like things like zoochosis and where they have like irregular actions, like they bob their head and they weave and stuff like that. What do you?
So you're talking about abnormal behaviors?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's called kind of like the old school zoos. A lot of zoos were like that a long time ago, and there still are plenty of zoos around here that are like that. But I feel like many zoos have kind of transferred over to a more naturalistic enclosures. They work hard to enrich the lives of the animals. They will put in things in their enclosures and try to just, what's it called? They just try to make it seem like it is naturalistic for them, and if it's not, and they do develop those behaviors, a lot of people do try, or a lot of zookeepers do try to fix those behaviors.
So would you kind of say that in that way that like causing abnormal behaviors, that's not beneficial to the animal?
I don't say that at all, no.
Okay. And so some zoos give antidepressants and medications to stop those behaviors as opposed to like just trying to change the behavior like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
So so you do say though that some zoos are not, like they don't treat the animals well?
Not zoos, but I think that people don't treat
the people working
well.
at the zoos.
I also don't think that. People go and work at zoos because they love animals. There's really hardly any zoos out there that actually don't, that people don't care about them. So, no, I don't think that. But yeah, I hear you, what you're saying about zookeepers and veterinarians tend to give medication, but that reduces the stress level of the animal at times, and they don't do it if they don't have to.
So the stress level caused by being in a smaller enclosure and being used to roaming around, that has an effect on the animal because they're used to traveling many miles a day, and instead they're in a smaller area?
It depends on the animal, I think. I think it depends on, I guess, how much attention they get, and those kind of things. They do happen, but I think that zookeepers and zoos and people that work at zoos, anyone around those animals, do everything that they can to try to help them, help get rid of those abnormal behaviors.
Okay. And then, so a lot of people say that like you can train an animal, but it's been shown that natural instincts don't dissipate with even being bred in captivity or living in captivity their whole lives or being taken in. Do you think that it's like not beneficial to the animal to be treated like a trained animal when their instincts never really like develop in that way?
I don't think that that's not beneficial.
That's
it's a double negative. It's okay. I think it's beneficial to them, especially for husbandry behaviors, to train an animal to switch from one enclosure to another enclosure for cleaning, to train an animal to take medication, to even do like x-ray behaviors or blood draw behaviors. That reduces the stress of the animal, and that training really helps them. If you're saying that their naturalistic behaviors aren't there because of training, I don't believe that that's something that is an issue usually.
Okay, and one last question. So it's been known that zoos for profit sell the surplus animals to hunting ranches, pet shops, the exotic meat industry, and research facilities, or killed and fed to other zoo animals.
I'd have to see more research on that because I don't think that that's as legitimate as it might have seemed. So I'd have to see much more research before I even comment on it at all.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Brianna.
Absolutely.
Amazing.